All right, guys. Now let's shift gears here and let's talk about what we want to do in the draft. This is going to be a rapid fire mock draft here, okay, guys? So forgive me. I'm probably not going to include the chat too much so we can just get through it. I may ask your guys' opinion. Just be ready to fire your answer in there immediately, okay? So we're going to continue to the draft. We're going full draft. We're going to go – let's go very fast. Start it. Bang. Here we go. All right, and I'm going to try to pull up our draft class or our draft board. By the way, the draft board has been updated, guys. You can find it over at patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. I posted the new link just a short time ago. We officially have Dane Brugler's top 100. All right. Dane Brugler's top 100 has now been added to the board. Also, we removed Walter Football and we went with Tankathon as one of the sources. We may keep that. We may not. I'm just testing some stuff out. If we find somebody like Kyle Krabs that used to work with the 33rd team and they would, work collaboratively together to put together that draft board, we may go that route. But as it sits right now, we've got Tankathon in there. And boy, did it shift some things around. It really shifted some things around heavy. So make sure you guys go check out the draft board again over at patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. All right, so here we go. Top needs, guys. What do we see as top needs? Talk to me in the chat. What are we thinking here? Top needs. We went and got 2 cornerbacks. We brought back Quay. You got a backup center, and you went and got a 3-tech or just a defensive tackle in general in free agency. I feel comfortable saying that the top needs are O-line, O-line, and O-line, right? So we'll go O-line. We have talked about constantly tight end, right? We've talked about linebacker, but again, we bring back Quay. You feel a little bit better about that situation. We'll throw cornerback on there as well, all right? Again, I just don't like the idea of forcing an early pick at corner, right? So look at this. Diggsy says Dunker time. What's crazy too is Dunker dropped on our board a little bit because of where Dane Brugler had him. That was really surprising to me. I didn't expect him to have him as low as he did. That was really, really, really interesting. So we'll keep an eye on his draft stock moving forward. But here is the best available. Let's just go interior offensive line and offensive tackle since that's the top needs. They got Jennings Dunker as the 52nd best prospect, right? He's showing as the top offensive lineman available. I'm going to go through and give you guys the updated numbers. It broke my heart seeing Dunker drop a little bit. He dropped to 49 on our board, okay? Not horrible. He's definitely worth the pick right here. Let's go to Blake Miller. Blake Miller is 38th. So Blake Miller is actually leader in the clubhouse here. There is no 2 ways about that. He would definitely be the leader in the clubhouse when it comes to our draft board at the moment. So Blake Miller leading the way. Now we're going to kick on over to Isaiah World. He's 101. All right. Chase Besantis is 73. Austin Barber is 87. Right. Oh, here's another one. Jake Slaughter dropped. Jake Slaughter dropped all the way down to 71. Dane Brugler had him at 83. Tankathon has him at 84. Because it's his big board had him at 93. PFF big board had him at 78. His PFF grades are off the charts. So that's going to be a very interesting one, man. We could see him. Some were saying he was going to be a late first-round pick, early second. Now we're seeing he might drop all the way to the 3rd or 4th round. We'll see as we get closer to the draft. But obviously he's not the top choice here. So if we stuck strictly to the board, guys, it would be Blake Miller 1, Jennings Dunker 2, okay? Blake Miller 1, Jennings Dunker 2. And also we've been talking about Brian Parker. Let me mention this for you guys. Brian Parker's down to 82 now. Why? Tankathon had him at 107. Dane Brugler did not have him in his top 100. So that's a guy to kind of keep an eye on there to see if he raises back up or if he continues to sink a little bit on our board. So, yeah, here's the question for the chat. I need an answer. Yeah, there you go, Packer Doug. I didn't even see your comment, but hopefully it answered your question, man. So he fell into the 80s. So I need an answer really, really quick, guys. Who are we going with? We're going with Jennings Dunker or Blake Miller. Blake Miller's slightly higher than Jennings Dunker on the board, although they are, I want to say they're in the same tier. Let me double check here. Blake Miller is at 38. He's got a 39.6 grade. And our boy Jennings Dunker has a 51.3. No, they're pretty far apart, actually. Yeah, they're pretty far apart. I think I probably shouldn't even ask the chat because we need to go with Miller. That's what Mike's saying too, right? Miller is definitely the best choice here. The board hands down. So we're going to go with offensive tackle Blake Miller. They may kick him inside. I just hope they don't flip sides. That's my big thing, right? Packer Doug says, as always, trust the board. Wes Robb says, do it. Go get Miller. All right, good deal. We're going to do it. So with the 52nd overall pick, we're going to take Blake Miller, tackle / offensive lineman out of Clemson. So you've got that guy there. And Blake Miller on our board once again was the 38th best prospect, and we got him at 52. You love to see it. All right. Offensive line still a top need, right? So we're now at pick 84. Who is it going to be? Keep in mind, guys, we don't have a starting offense, or we don't have a starting center, do we? So look at this. It fell right into place. So we don't have a starting center. Best available is Jake Slaughter, Brian Parker II. Both of those are listed as centers as it sits right now. All right. So now if we hop over here and sort the board, I'll tell you guys what I see. I'm going to sort by center. All right. And it's overall grade, interior offensive line, and we'll see who the best centers available are. I apologize for the noise of the scroller there. So, yeah, Jake Slaughter's got a 68.6 grade. Brian Parker, 82.4. It's not even close. So, Jake Slaughter would be the pick here. I want to give a shout-out to Jim's. I'm going to screw up the last name, sir. I apologize. Thank you so much, Jim, for becoming a member here on YouTube. You're the man. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Jordan Dixon Reed says in the chat, I took Connor Lew at 84 at my mock draft. I completed just now. Love Connor Lew. He's just got that ACL. You know, we don't know when he's going to be available. If you could guarantee me to be ready for week 1, I'd be a lot more on that, because Connor Lew is actually the highest center on our board as it sits right now at 58.3. And if you're wondering how can that be, Clayton, he's hurt. He's got an ACL. We don't ding people for injuries. We just light them up red so you know, hey, be aware there's an injury there, right? So I would be okay with Connor Lew, other than the fact that he might not be available till like October, November to if rehab goes, great. And again, we'll get an update on that. Maybe that changes, but I don't think it's a bad pick, especially for the future there. But here, I think it's a no-brainer. We're going to go with Jake Slaughter, although, Mike, you mentioned Logan Jones. Let me explain why I'm not as big on Logan Jones, okay? And it's not me personally. You guys know it's just because of the board. Logan Jones is fascinating to me. So he was not in Dane Brugler's top 100, okay? He was 145 on Tankathon's big board, all right? The consensus big board opened up immediately following the college football season with him at 107. The PFF big board had him at 168. But the thing that's helping him is he was the 9th highest graded center according to PFF at 25, and he was even better in 24, grading out as the 4th best center. So it's like, PFF, get your head out of your ass. What are we doing here, right? Like, how do you have him graded that much higher, yet you don't believe he is, worthy of a pick anywhere near where you kind of have him graded? Doesn't make a lot of sense, right? But back to what you were saying there, Mike. Logan Jones is in the 116 spot for us, okay? 116. And again, where's Jake Slaughter at? Pat Coogan's actually in the 89 spot for us, all right? Just to mention that. Brian Parker would be 82. And then, of course, like we just said, Jake Slaughter would be the best corner other than Connor Lew, who's got the ACL. So it'd be Jake Slaughter here at 71. Got to stick to the board, man. Got to stick to the board. And Soder says Parker gives position flexibility. We know how Goody loves that, right, Soder? I'm just like, man, give me a true center, please, for the love of God. Give me a true center. So if you went and you already went and got your boy out of Clemson, who was it, Miller, Blake Miller, right? That's a guy you're probably going to move around to guard. If Jordan Morgan wins the left tackle spot, who knows? Maybe Miller can come in and win the left tackle spot. I don't know, right? That could be the case as well, and then you work in the guards as you go. But for me, I think center has got to be the one right here, right? Yeah, Coogan is the one with Indiana. That's correct, Packer Doug. Yeah. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull the trigger. We're going to go Jake Slaughter here, all right? So with the 84th overall pick, the Packers are going to select center Jake Slaughter, all right? 84. And once again, we got – at pick 84, we got the 71st best prospect, okay? So, again, we got 71 at 84. We're getting great value right now. So, the top needs, again, we can go overall. We don't have to just reach for needs, and we got to go kind of quick now. We're up against the gun just a bit. Yeah. So, we'll go rapid fire from here on out. Pick 120, we got tight end and cornerback listed as 2 of our top needs, all right? So, if we put those on the board here, here's what we're showing. Best available. Takario Davis out of Washington, cornerback. Joe Royer is a tight end out of Cincinnati. Justin Jolie is a tight end out of NC State. Domonique Jackson is a cornerback out of Alabama. And then you got Hezekiah Massis, cornerback out of California. Those are your best available prospects. So now if we just go all and see what pops, there's Nick Singleton at running back. we can bend a little bit if we wanted to, because again, we shored up. We got 2 cornerbacks. We brought back Quay. You signed Sean Ryan as a backup offensive lineman in free agency. And then, of course, you added a defensive tackle. So we could really go any direction here, man. Any direction. So this is what I wish I knew, Mike. You know, is Nick Singleton a good punt returner, right? That would be the question to ask, would it not? Like that'd be absolutely awesome if we knew the answer to that question. Unfortunately, we don't. Now, when we look at Nick Singleton, let's assume he can, right, return kicks. He's in the 114 spot currently on our board. It would actually make a lot of sense, but how much playing time is he going to get? Watch us draft him, and then all of a sudden, what happens? We go draft him, and now all of a sudden, our boy Marshawn Lloyd is healthy the rest of the year, of course, right? And Singleton don't even see the field. That would suck. So I can understand the value in punt returner. The information we got here, though, it's a little bit tough to approach it that way. So let's just put what we thought our needs were coming into the offseason. We only signed 1 offensive lineman, so you can make a case to go with another offensive line, although we went back-to-back already. Let's go tight end. Let's go corner. Let's add 3 tech on there as well. Not 3 tech, but defensive tackle in general. Is there anybody who really pops here? I'm trying to see. Is there anybody here that we've taken in the past that we really like? Nothing else. Let's add Stackbacker just for craps and giggles. No, nothing's really popping here. All right. So where's our boy Tanner Kazoil? Is he on here anywhere? Let's clear it off and look for Tanner. Where's Tanner at? He's way down there. We can get him later, can't we? Probably with the next pick, I would imagine. So there's no reason to go tight end here. Let's just stick to their board somewhat, okay? They're showing Chris McClellan as a good pick. We did sign 1 defensive lineman in free agency, but yeah, he's 170. That'd be a reach there, right? Let's see who else we got. Tim Keenan. Where's Tim Keenan? Tim Keenan's 150. That'd be a little bit of a reach for us. There's better prospects available for sure. Don't necessarily have to go corner. This is tough, man. We created a hell of a problem to have right here, right? Like we're not looking up going, oh God, we've got to get this right now. We've got to get that right now. You know, let's go edge, as Soder asks here. Soder says, what about edge? All right, let's see if any of these guys pop to us. The Packers met with Nadami Tucker, if that's how you say the name. Let's run these numbers here. We might be able to find us a late edge here. That one's 146 is Kamara. Llewellyn is 201. Nothing looking too good so far. Kieron Crawford is 177. Nadami Tucker, 107. Uh-oh. I think we got a winner, boys. Nadami Tucker here. Now, would he be available on the next pick as possible, right? Mike's saying running back, so we're kind of at a stalemate here. Let's do that. Which one's better, right? Nick Singleton, or would it be our boy Nadami Tucker? Might be able to get them both. They got Nick Singleton at 112 here. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Think about the running back position. Josh Jacobs, right? Yeah, let's just let everybody vote. We get it narrowed down to 2. Would you go edge defender Nadami Tucker, or would you go running back Singleton? Everybody get your vote in real quick. Orange Jamar says Singleton. That'd be pretty cool to steal somebody with the 120th pick who's a borderline top 100 talent for us on our board, right? That'd be absolutely awesome. So how do we feel about Singleton or Nadami Tucker? Packer Doug says Singleton. Give me one more running back vote, and it's done. We already got 3 here. I think I know where Solder stands. He was mentioning edge, or at least was asking about who the edge defenders were. One more. Give me one more, guys. All we need is one more running back. Watch it be an edge. That would be hilarious, by the way. Singleton. Mike voted twice. There you go. What do you think this is? The U.S. elections? What are we doing here? What's wrong with you, man? Hey, I like it. All right. Mr. Harrington says running back's a bigger need than everyone's thinking. I like it. Soder, we won Soder over. He said roll the dice. All right, we're going to go Nick Singleton here with the 120th pick. We're going running back. Did not have that on my bingo card. And again, that was at 120, and we got the what best prospect. We got to go rapid fire now. Where was Nick Singleton at? Yeah, Nick Singleton was 114. Nadami Tucker was 1 tier higher than him, but we went with Nick Singleton at 114. That's still good value at 120 for sure. So now let's don't play around with this. Let's go ahead and get our tight end and maybe another corner. Tight end, we know who we like. Is he gone? I think he might be gone here. Let's see. No, Tanner Kazoyle's still there. Kazoyle's way down there. Of course, they got him at 198. He may be gone when we pick again. I'm trying to think, when do we pick again? Yeah, he's going to be gone. If we want Tanner Kazoyle, now's the time. But here's what's wild. Tanner Kazoyle is actually dropped on our board a little bit. Let me give you guys the exact number here. Kazoyle is at 85 now. He dropped a touch. All right, not bad though. So he's still sitting in the 85 spot. Keep in mind, he's a hybrid, kind of like a Luke Musgrave. Might be Luke Musgrave's replacement moving forward. If we stuck strictly to tight end and we sorted by tight end on our board, I just want to make sure we're not overlooking anything. A steal right here. Let's see if Kazoyle is higher than every other tight end. I apologize for the scrolling noise, gang. All right, let's see here. Kazoyle, 83.8 is his. Trig, Claire. It looks like everybody who was above him is already gone. Yeah, so Kazoyle. I'm going to go Kazoyle here, okay? We got to go in rapid fashion. So we're going to go with tight end. Kazoyle, if I could find him. Bang, down. It's going to look like a little bit of a reach according to stick to the model, but that's all right. We really like the player. So we're going to go tight end right there. And again, that was, I can't remember what pick that was. What pick was that, guys? Let me go back here real quick. So we got Tanner Kazoyle at 158. All right. And on our board, Tanner Kazoyle was, again, got to sort by that again. Just a second. It's in the 80s. So Tanner Kazoyle was the 85th best pick or best prospect according to our board. We're crushing this. Heck yeah, I'm liking the way this draft's hitting. It's hitting just right. All right, so now let's reset the board. Taylon Green, quarterback, could potentially be a pick here. You guys know we may go 7th round or something for a quarterback. We'll see. Emil Wagner's interesting. We got cornerback is kind of like, I know we signed 2 corners, but we haven't taken one here. Is there one that's maybe a steal down here a little later in the draft? I don't know. If we go all, though, let's see. It's Klein, Taylon Green. Let me see where Emil Wagner ended up being, because we might go with another offensive line. This might be my favorite mock draft that we've done, guys. Like, just seeing all the holes that we filled. Emil Wagner's 154, and we're getting him at 200. That would be a heck of a pickup, wouldn't it? And then Trost is – so Keegan Trost, we need to get a grade on him because he's a lot higher on this board than he is on ours. We need to check that out later. Thaddeus Dixon, let's see if that makes sense. Thaddeus Dixon now 265. So I think we're going to go Emil Wagner here out of Notre Dame. Like I said, he's rising on the board for us. So Emil Wagner, AM – Emil Wagner's 154. And we're going to get him at 200. Great value again. So we're going to go 200. And we're getting the 154 prospect on our board. That's absolutely awesome. So, all right. We have really done some damage. At offensive line. I mean, we brung back Sean Ryan. We got arguably the best center in the draft in Jake Slaughter. Or we actually went and got Blake Miller before that, the 38th best prospect on our board. And then you go get Jake Slaughter, who's probably going to be – here's what's cool. Jake Slaughter, if it doesn't pan out year one, then you got Sean Ryan, right? Like, you got a little backup plan. Who knows? Maybe Jacob Monk rises to the occasion. You know what? Maybe Jordan Morgan looks phenomenal in off-season program, and they kick Miller over to right tackle, and you move Zach Tom to center. That could happen as well. You can see how we can shore up these positions fairly quickly, for sure. I'm really liking this, man. Really, really liking this. So, all right. Go back, reset the board to all. Is there anybody here that grabs our attention? Is there another need? We mentioned corner at the top. So why don't we go corner again? So if we go cornerback, but we signed 2 corners, we only signed 1 defensive tackle, right? Maybe we go get us a D tackle here. Is there a D tackle that grabs our attention? There's Caleb Proctor, my boy Caleb Proctor. You guys are probably going to hate it, but he's probably going to be the one that makes sense here. Caleb Proctor, 134 at 236. My goodness. Let's see if any of these other guys make sense. Jermaine Matthews, no, sir. Demings is 288. Kennedy, is that how you say his name? Kennedy's 273. Ethan Burke is way down there in the basement. Brent Austin is 241. This is hands down Caleb Proctor. I know it's a small school, but again, a guy that played 5 tech. And there's no information on him at all in here, but we know on our board he is fairly high. And the reason Caleb Proctor is so high is let me explain to you guys so you understand. Again, I know it's a small school, but so was Tucker Kraft, so was Christian Watson, right? Southeastern Louisiana is the school. He's 134 on our big board. He was the 8th highest graded defensive tackle in all of college football last year. If we just stuck strictly to the consensus big board, when the season ended, he was 209. It's still a great value pick at 236, right? PFF big board had him at 189. So it's a really good pick in that regard. And unfortunately, Tankathon or Dane Brugler don't have him on their top 100 as it sits right now. So we're going to do it, though, for time purposes. We're going to go get us another defensive tackle. So we're going Caleb Proctor out of Southeastern Louisiana. So, again, Caleb Proctor is the pick. Erase that off of there real quick. Bang. I think right here we'll probably get a quarterback in one of these next 2 picks. Caleb Proctor was the pick. We got Caleb Proctor at 236. And, again, he is the 134th best prospect. Love the pick. Absolutely love. We crushed this draft. We have crushed this draft. I agree. As more I thought about it, Soder, take the defensive tackle because you signed 2 corners in free agency, right? I know you got to. So essentially, what you've done is you've added multiple avenues of help for all key positions. This might be the way to go in free agency. If you can get those corners at that market value that's been being projected by multiple sites, and we'll see if it holds true. Who knows if it will? But if you can shore up cornerback like that, grab a D tackle as well, man, I would be over the freaking moon. All right, let's go back, reset it to all. Anybody grab our attention here? There may be 1 or 2 that we really like. There's Cole Payton out of North Dakota State. Man, he's an interesting one. Cole Payton, 144 on our big board. Let's just go to quarterbacks. People are going, why are you looking at quarterbacks, Clayton? Because Malik Willis is probably going to get a decent contract somewhere else. Maybe his market falls flat. I doubt it. But if it does and you bring him back, believe me, I want Malik Willis back. But if you have to replace him, is Desmond Ridder the dude you want? Former borderline first-round talent, according to consensus big board in the past. However, you also need a guy for the practice squad, right? So Cole Payton's the best pick for them here. Then it's Luke Altmaier. Diego Pavia is that one that keeps popping up. I don't mean to laugh every time I see it, but it's like, man, are you really going to draft a 5'9" quarterback? When you hear me knock the height, you know the cat's short. And it's really how it all came about, too. Because, like, when you look at how all year long they were promoting Diego Pavia on the Vanderbilt website like he was 5'10", 5'11", somewhere around there. And then he measures out at the Senior Bowl and he's 5'9". I was like, oh, boy. And again, he could be a little bit of a head case as well. Cole Payton will probably be the best quarterback pick here. Soder asked, get a special teams linebacker. If we took a look at linebacker, Caleb Elarms Orr was one that we drafted before. That's a guy we liked quite a bit. Let's see where he's at. Caleb Elarms Moore. He's at 234. Maybe he wasn't as high as I was thinking he was higher than that. So if we went strictly linebacker, and I don't know if they could play special teams or not. I mean, any linebacker should be able to pick up special teams. I think we would all agree. But let's see if we key in on linebacker. Let's see which one's going to be best here. Roller. Just that Jimmy. So we don't have a grade on him, so he's pretty low on the list. Sorry, 441. Obi what? Obi Azor? I don't even think he's on our board. Let me look at this. Obi Azor. Yeah, 370. He's way down there. None of the linebackers look too appealing here, to be honest with you. Yeah, that one's low too. Jack Kelly's way down there in the basement. Keyshawn Elliott is 277. So if we're going to do it, it would be Caleb Elarms Orr. Elarms Orr. It's 234. We're picking at 254. If we wanted to get a linebacker, that would make sense, right? So we could do that. We could either go Factor Doug. Roller, I hardly know her. Exactly. Unbelievable. All right. Man, this is tough. This is really, really tough. It's tough at pick 254. We got some big problems here if it's tough at 254. You're kidding me. All right, I'm going to go linebacker because it was requested in the chat, and then we'll take the best quarterback available in the 7th round, okay? Just to kind of take a swing for the fences there. So we're going to go Caleb Elarms Orr at 254. And again, we got good value there. Linebacker. Where do we have him on our board? 234. So we got 234 at 254. Great value there. Great value. All right. Now, final pick. We're going to make ourselves take a quarterback. Cole Payton's still there. Looky here, boys. Looky here. Where's Luke Altmaier? Let's actually sort by quarterback. We know we're just going to go quarterback here for a practice squad / possible backup quarterback in general. Let's see here. So, Luke Altmaier, where's Altmaier at? Actually, let's just see if anybody's above Cole Payton. Cole Payton, we got a 128.7 grade. Is Cade Klubnik already gone? I imagine he is. Yep. Drew Allar is long gone. Taylon Green, I think we seen him go just a second ago, so he's gone. Diego Pavia is hands down the best quarterback. I need your help, chat. I ain't going to get raked over the coals by myself, buddy. I ain't going out there on a dummy mission, all right? So here's the question. Be ready to answer right now. We got to take a quarterback. We're going to force ourselves to take a quarterback. Diego Pavia, 86.4 grade on our board. And then you've got Cole Payton, who is significantly lower, right? I believe, yeah, Cole Payton, 128.7. So Diego Pavia or Cole Payton, what's it going to be? I love it. Mike said, I ain't dealing with no shrimp at quarterback. I'm going Payton. All right. Orange Amar says Payton as well. He's running away with it. And again, North Dakota State, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but our new wide receiver coach, right, is former coach out there at North Dakota State. So there you go. I love it. Bates, Payton, Soder, Payton, Packers people, J.L. Walker, Payton. You guys did it. All right. With the final pick for the Packers here at pick 257, we are going to take quarterback out of North Dakota State, Cole Payton. We got a B+ on that offseason grade. They said you got a little bit handsy with those cornerbacks, bub. That's exactly what they're saying there. So, again, quick little recap. We'll run through it real quick and we'll wrap up. Cuts, we cut Elton Jenkins. We freed up $19.5 million. We did a post-June 1 cut for Aaron Banks, freeing up $17.7 million. We restructured Rashawn Gary. We freed up $8.4 million. Again, pretend like that's a pay cut. If he's not willing to take a pay cut, we just move on, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if either of those happen, to be honest with you. Josh Jacobs, restructure, $4.5 million. And then signings, look at this. We brought back Trayvon Diggs, all right, $7.6 million per. Jalen Watson from the Kansas City Chiefs, $11.5 million per. Sean Ryan, $5 million flat per. Love that signing right there. I think Sean Ryan's worth every penny there. Quay Walker, you got him back at $8 million. That's exciting. And then you went and signed defensive tackle Logan Hall, a up-and-coming, ascending player. He's gotten better according to PFF all 4 years in the league. If you can get him at $8 million, boy, what a steal. Then in the draft, with the second-round pick, you took Blake Miller, offensive tackle out of Clemson. Third-round pick, you went center. Jake Slaughter. He's going to compete with Sean Ryan, Jacob Monk, and possibly Zach Tom as your starting center. Nick Singleton, all right? And keep in mind, Blake Miller is going to play either guard or who knows. If you do end up moving Zach Tom to center, if that's an option, then maybe Blake Miller can compete at right tackle, okay? But again, Jake Slaughter at center in the third round. Nick Singleton, running back. This one surprised me a little bit. I don't think we've taken a running back before the 5th or 6th round so far until now. Nick Singleton, running back out of Penn State in the 4th round. Tanner Kazoil, a tight end out of Houston in the 5th round. Emil Wagner, offensive tackle, might project to be a guard, I believe, if I remember correctly, out of Notre Dame. He's in the 6th round. 7th round pick, we went with another defensive tackle, 5 Tech, Southeast Louisiana, small school. Let's see if he surprises us. 7th round pick, Caleb Elarms, or that's an outside linebacker for TCU. We'll see if he can provide some special teams help like Soder was talking about. And then with the 7th round, the last 7th round pick, we took Cole Payton, quarterback out of North Dakota State. So there you go. There's your mock draft. I like the way it ended up, guys. That's exciting, man. The entire offseason, again, if we do this, I'm going to share this again. And we're going to go through and kind of look at what our favorites are here real soon. Let me upload it here, and we'll go ahead and get the image into the database so we've got it on hand. I love the fact that stick to the model allows you to do this. This is a really cool feature. So now, bang, there it is. All right. There is what we just did. Let me drop down to Patreon banner. There's your whole recap of the entire offseason. And again, you're going into the season with, I think, about $9 million in cap space. So you got operating money. You're good to go. You did post-June 1 cut for Aaron Banks, so that helped out a little bit. You're going to be looking to re-sign Christian Watson, and you're off and running. So I really, really like the way this offseason shook out. You guys, let us know in the comments, how do you feel about this? If you're watching this video back later, how do you feel about that offseason approach? That's the first time we forced ourselves to prioritize cornerback. How do you feel about it? Maybe grade it A to F. Maybe you think, it's a C. All right. I understand that. Again, I don't think corner is something you should overspend on, but if you can improve the cornerback room by 2 players, meaning they would automatically go to the top of the depth chart as your best corners, and you can do that and still go into next year with right at about $9 million in cap space, or I think it's 8.6 is the actual number. I think we really did well. And the draft shook out nice. You got all your offensive line help you needed. You got the 38th best prospect at 52. You got the 71st best prospect at 84. You got the 85th best prospect, a tight end at 158. That was great value in Kazoil. Defensive tackle, you got the 134th best prospect at 236. All right. And we're kind of going out of order a little bit because I had the positions of need listen. You got a running back, the 114th best prospect at pick 120. You got the 154th prospect at 200 at offensive line. That was Emil Wagner. And then you got the 234th best prospect at linebacker, Elarms Orr, at pick 254. I mean, we did not reach on one single pick to fill a need. That might be the approach Goody needs to take in free agency. But again, all that's going to be determined whether or not we truly do move on from Elgton Jenkins. If you move on from Elgton Jenkins, you can free that money up. Here's the other thing. Think about this. If you cut Elgton Jenkins, you free up that money, and then you could get him back at $10 million. Would it be worth it to pay Elgton Jenkins $10 million per to bring him back into the fold? I think the question then becomes, who would you rather? Would you rather take a chance on Jake Slaughter playing center, or would you rather have Elgton Jenkins? Also, if you bring Elgton Jenkins back, you're probably not bringing Sean Ryan back, right? So it's like, do you want $10 million on the bench if Jake Slaughter beats Elgton Jenkins out for the starting center spot? I know some people say that's a long shot. I get it, but my goodness, man. If you go that route, it truly does change things up. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Greatly appreciate it. If y'all would do us a big favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe, click the bell icon so you catch all the live streams moving forward. We're going to go out to dinner. Probably no show tonight, but we will continue to bring you content as we inch closer to some important dates. Keep in mind, going to have some contract restructures. If they're going to happen, they're going to happen in the next 5 to 15 days. Right. If it happened tomorrow, it wouldn't surprise me. But typically when you get to the February 15th, that's when you're in that range for these things happening. So with that being said, greatly appreciate everybody. Y'all have a great day. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. Hey, do me a big favor. Go find the podcast over. Just search Packer Fan, Total Access, wherever you get your podcasts. We will have that as the overflow for Packernet. Packernet still will have 5 episodes a week, so you can still find that like a regular schedule. Basically, Monday through Friday, you get content there from us, and then we got the overflow pod as well. So greatly, greatly appreciate everybody. Y'all have a great day, and my name's Clayton. This is PTA. Go Pack, go.
There we go.
We're out.
Bye, guys.